Hello, the lesson for today is about olive oil extraction. Olive oil, in fact, is widely recognized as one of the world's healthiest oils. It is produced by pressing the olives, which is a fruit from Olea europaea, and it is commonly used in cooking, whether for frying or as a salad dressing. Well, in this lesson we will discuss about the processing of olive oil, and especially we will discuss about many factors that affect on the quality of olive oil. Let's start with the influence of cultural practices on the quality of olive oil. Well, the formation of oil in the fruits begins in the early stages of olive fruit growth. Climate changes, cultivation practices, disease infestation, etc. can leave traces in olive oil. Well, at the time of fruit harvesting, the oil content of the fruit, which is at the optimum maturity index, and of course it is healthy and doesn't cause any damage during harvesting, provides higher quality. Therefore, the oil extraction process must respect and maintain the quality of oil. Well, for explaining much better the influence of cultural practices, let's mention some factors that can affect on the quality of oil. Olive oil. The influence of cultivar. When the cultivar is selected to be planted determines the quality of the oil to be obtained. With the genetic characteristics of each cultivar, we will understand the susceptibility or resistance to diseases, infection, meteorological changes, which at a given moment determine the quality of the oil. Well, in general, fruit size, ripening age, fruit resistance are characteristic to any cultivar which directly or indirectly influence on the quality of the oil. Even the area of the origin is another factor which influences into the chemical composition of the oil. Another factor is environmental influence. Well, like cultivars, oil can be subdivided according to the characteristics of the soil where they are cultivated. And it is well studied that aromatic oils are obtained in less fertile terrain and with a less productive olive grove than in high-yielding olive groves. Fruit trees cultivated in sunny climates will give a very fragrant oil. It is also quoted that olives that undergo in hydrostress during the ripening process can obtain oils with different taste, where they are very bitter and spicy oils. Well, oils extracted from fruits that are affected by frost should be processed immediately. However, the oils obtained are within the quality parameters, but the aroma of these oils are not very strong and they have a sweet taste. The influence of agronomic practices. Here we can mention pruning, fertilization, irrigation, and land maintenance. Let's see. By pruning, we mean a series of practices carried out on trees to modify their natural vegetative form to give more development of the branches, in order to achieve a maximum production, including rebuilding or renovating parts or even all a tree. By pruning, balance of root leaves and the relation of wood leaves can be achieved. The most important prerequisite for pruning is to have a balance between vegetative and reproductive parts of the trees. Well, among the factors that influence the pruning, we can mention the soil fertility, climatic conditions, cultivation methods, no irrigation or irrigation crop. If the olives are for table olive or for oil extraction. Another factor that may affect is harvesting methods, etc. Fertilization. Well, fertilization favors the harmonious development of the fruit and consequently the quality and of the production, even the quality and quantity. The composition of the olive oil in both non-fertilized and fertilized olives didn't cause or didn't create significant differences. However, from many factors like cultivar, ripening stage, they can affect into the chemical composition of the olive oil more than fertilization. Irrigation. Well, in an olive grove irrigated during the cycle, the fruits are uniform with pulp-core ratio in a high level, and they produce oil in sufficient quantities. In contrast, the lack of moisture in the soil at some important stages of ripeness provokes the formation of small fruits. Well, oils produced from olives that have passed hydrostress in hot areas are more bitter and spicy. Another factor that may affect is land maintenance. These practices favor the accumulation of rainwater in the soil and reduce competition with other spontaneous plants. The criteria established on the effect of irrigation may be related to the maintenance of the land to preserve a moisture available to the crop. Another factor is the influence of pests and diseases. Well, when a parcel of olive trees is attacked by pest or disease, the olives are no longer healthy, and therefore the oil obtained is not of a good quality. In order to avoid this situation, it is important to take appropriate phytosanitary measures which allow to keep the initial population at a low level, that the losses in the olive culture are low as possible as we can. Products that are used to fight the pests and diseases should be used when pests and diseases are more susceptible to the treatment with the appropriate doses that may guarantee a waste-free product for the consumers. And the last factor that we can mention is the influence of harvesting the fruit. In this case, fruit harvesting is one of the most important practices, as it plays a role in the quantity and quality of the olive oil to be obtained, and production cost and production volume of the coming year. There are many factors that are considered and manipulated according to the rules to achieve the desired result. These factors or these objectives are: olives should have oil as much as possible. The oil should have the best quality. The damage to olive tree during the harvest should be minimal, because the effect of them might be evident in the next year, and harvest cost to be as economical as possible. After agronomic practices, an important role in the quality of olive oils have the harvesting system that is used. Before starting to talk about the current state of mechanization of this process, let's give a brief overview of manual harvesting systems that have disappeared in recent years. Doing so will allow for a better understanding of the motives that have led to the solution that can be used today in oliviculture. Manual harvesting of olives is accomplished by three basic methods, which are the collection of drop fruits on the ground, harvest of fruit from the tree, shaking the fruit branches. Let's see each of these methods. Collecting from the ground consists in waiting for the fruits to be ripened and to fall naturally, and later to start collecting them from the ground. In this way, it is very clear that this method has major problems in the term of the oil quality, because the olives that rest on the ground may raise their acidity, and this is transmitted on the olive oil quality, because this oil will have a higher acidity. Well, the use of this method is justified only in large trees or in areas with difficult access. Harvest of fruit from the tree. Well, hand-picked is the only system used for collecting table olives. The operator from the ground or stairs can pick up the fruit by sliding it on the branch and depositing it in containers that they hang around their chest. After they are fully filled, they empty their containers to tanks or boxes of about 20 or 30 kilograms. Well, shaking the fruit branches, this is the most common method. The worker is equipped with a stick of wood or fiberglass with the length reaches 3 or 4 meters. These sticks they use to hit the tree, trying to hit the big branches. But because of these shakes, sometimes the number of new branches of the tree, which should be a fruit producer for the next year, may be affected or damaged because of these shakes, and this is accompanied by a serious impact on the production of the next year. Mechanized harvesting. Well, for the realization of agronomic practices, almost 80% of the work corresponds to olive harvesting tasks. In fact, this operation is carried out along with pruning, and these two important operations have had very low technological development. The development of mechanized olive harvesting has encountered a number of factors that have conditioned its operation. Among other things, we can mention some external factors that affect on the harvesting system, which are small size of olive farms, tendency to view olive as a social interest, reduced economic attention to mechanized olive harvesting study, high cost of using machinery due to short time available for harvesting, high cost of maintaining them during the rest of the year, etc. But in general, all models that are developed till now need to prepare the land to be polished, compact, and the land should be free from plant parts before starting to use these mechanized machinery for harvesting. After harvesting, we have to prepare and transport the olives, but for having a good olive oil extraction, we should consider some rules. The first one is olives that are harvested from the tree have better quality than those collected on the ground, so they should stay separate during transportation and processing. The second rule is processing immediately after harvesting the olives. Maximum they can rest 24 to 48 hours. The third rule, olives collected on the ground should be washed as soon as possible. And the last rule is that transport should not damage the olives, so the best transport methods are the use of plastic cans, resistant and easy to wash. Should not be used sacks for transport of fruits, as they can promote their fermentation. Because of many factors, fruit have different quality, and because of these they have to be treated differently. In this aspect, when we talk about the quality of fruits, we have divided these fruits into three categories or three groups, which the first one are olives that are taken directly from the trees and provide oils with high quality, and these olives are healthy and mature fruits. In the second group are olives with initial defects and not very damaged. And the third group, are olives with severe injuries. After selecting the quality of olive, we will start with olive oil extraction. Well, there are four main operations of olive oil extraction from the plant. The first one is fruit cleaning, the second one is preparation of the past, the third one is separation of solid and liquid phases, and the last one is separation of the liquid phases, separation of oil and wastewater. Let's start with fruit cleaning, which entails two operations: leaf removal and washing. Well, leaf removal. It's a realized elimination of impurities during the olive harvest. It eliminates the branches, which are 5 to 10% of the fruit weight, stones, fruit nuclei, etc. And after that, the olives are washed in a current of water. This process it is accomplished by immersing the olives in the water. Once the olives are washed, they must be dried immediately because the water have negative effect into the homogenization process. The amount of water to be used for less polluted olives should be 2%, while for highly polluted olives should be 6% of their weight. In general, the water used for washing olives is recycled, and to improve washer efficiency, the washing vat is equipped with a shaker that shakes any impurities through screens, as well as with an air injection system to create turbulence in the mass.